Alrighty, hello everybody. Hello. What is going on, everyone? Hopefully, things are good for you. I have returned. Today is Wednesday, November 20th, 2019. Indeed, I am Darkside Phil, and I have returned from my day away from streaming to come back strong. That's right, it's time for 6 straight days of new release streams. I hope you guys are excited for all the fun and new stuff I will be juggling over the next week or so. FYI, I should just say this right up front. We are really busy. Like, we have so many games that currently I'm playing and you guys are following me play that there's no way I can even squeeze in like a new game this week. FYI, even though there are new games, that either just came out or about to come out, there's no way I can tackle any new stuff this week. It's just crazy how much has come out in the last 2-3 weeks that I'm still playing. I'm in the hopes that this week I will be able to wrap up at least one playthrough and hopefully get a large tear into the other ones that I'm playing, so that hopefully by the end of the week we have a better idea, at the landscape of what we'll be looking at moving forward for the next few weeks. The good news is there's really not much else going out between now and the end of the year. Like, there's not any really high-profile new releases anymore. So, any of the games that I missed that you guys are interested in seeing me play, it looks like I will probably have time to play between now and the end of 2019. And yes, that means that probably within a couple weeks to a few weeks here, the chill streams that you guys have come to grow and love, are coming back. Things like Minecraft, or Battle Royale, or maybe some classic throwback Street Fighter, or some meowing cat, like right next to me, this meowing cat. There's a meowing cat. Meow. Meowing cat, yeah. Mr. Jasper's in the office here today during the pre-stream messing around. He's right now kneading the couch and meowing at me. He's being very silly. So anyway, it should be a good end of the year. So let's talk a little bit about what you guys can expect this week at least, okay? What are you doing? You're licking my finger. You're so silly. All right. So what can you guys expect this week? First of all, today, it's a double stream day, folks. Indeed it is, a double stream day. And we're going to start off with Death Stranding. The good news here is that unlike the last time I played let's try that again. The last time I played Death Stranding, which was on Sunday, supposedly now we're in a good part of the game. From what people have been telling me, the game basically has like highs and lows. And last time we were in, what was it, I want to say it was chapter 6 or 7. And that was the chapter where you're in the mountains and you're going back and forth across the mountains multiple times. And it's literally filler content. It doesn't need to exist in the game. It pads the game by about 4 hours of length. And it could have completely been cut out and not hurt the game at all. Hello everyone. Hello. Hi, everybody. This artwork that's not covering the screen. So anyway, in regards to this, apparently now we're past that. We beat that last time. We had a boss fight, a story boss fight or whatever, and then we're continuing on in a new chapter now where supposedly the game is picked up and it's going to get better, which is a good thing. Certainly, I don't want to have another 4-hour stream of Death Stranding where we all just sit around bored again, right? What are you doing over there, Jasper? He's at like my dusty ass desk. He's gonna be sneezing within a minute. I know it. He found. Oh my God! What is that? There's a piece of rubber. What did you find, Jasper? What did you find? What is that? Let me go see what this is that he's biting. I don't even know what he found over there. What did you find? What is that? What did you get? What the heck is that? It's like a little foam piece. Huh. A little foamy piece. Where did this come from? Huh. Jasper has a way of finding things around the house. So he saw this little, like a round foam piece that looks like it was at one point was probably underneath something, like underneath a speaker or underneath a piece of equipment as a way to cushion the bottom of the device, whatever it might have been. I have no clue what this is from. He just found it and pulled it out from under my computer desk here. Squishy. Well, whatever. I grabbed it. I just don't want him to eat it, so I grabbed it. He probably wouldn't eat it. He'd probably just play with it and beat it up, smack it around a bit. That's what he likes to do with little objects. All right, but anyway, so supposedly we're in a better part of Death Stranding. From what I'm to understand, this next few hours of the game are quite good. We're back in a almost story-based portion where there's going to be some good plot developments and new gameplay elements and the like. And apparently, once we hit Chapter 10, that's the final leg of the game that's kind of boring. You know, Chapter 3 was the first one. And then whatever chapter we did last time, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was Chapter 8 or Chapter 6. I don't know. Whatever chapter we just finished apparently was like the second boring chapter of the game with filler content. And then apparently Chapter 10 is a third chapter where there's filler content. And then when you're done with that, you're in the home stretch of the game and it's quite good right until the end. So I guess today should be an enjoyable stream of Death Stranding 2. Excuse me, Death Stranding 2? Oh my god, am I ahead of myself? I just saw someone in the stream chat said that they're making Joker 2. And for some reason that made me say Death Stranding 2. Okay. So, Death Stranding today, and hopefully it is more fun than the last session. Regardless, even if it's not. You guys have been really awesome during this playthrough. You interact with me, we hang out, we have a good time. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I feel that if Death Stranding... Jasper, don't eat that freaking wire, man. Oh, my God. If you bite that again, I'm coming over there. Jasper. That's it. That's it. Now he gets it. You don't eat my wires. You don't chew wires. Stop this right now. You're out of here. You're out of here, Buster. That's what you get for chewing wires. Oh, I had to throw him out of the office. What a pain in the ass. I don't mind Jasper being in the office, but what it is when I start talking to you guys, he literally will not chew a damn thing in the office until I start talking to you guys. And then when I do, he gets jealous. He's like, oh, Phil's talking to someone else but me. He's not giving me all the attention, so let me do something to get his attention. So he'll start chewing on a wire, So I had to toss him out of the office. It is what it is. All right, so anyway. Even if Death Stranding today isn't like super riveting, I think it'll still be a great stream. You guys have been a really great audience for Death Stranding so far. Even though we've had segments. Whoa, the camera's on the whole time. Even though we've had segments. We've had segments where it's been quite boring. You guys have been awesome with the interactivity, and us talking and everything has still made it interesting. Okay? So as long as we can keep that up, I think we're fine. So hopefully we can keep it up. Hopefully it'll continue to be interesting and fun. I hope we'll have a 4-hour great stream of Death Stranding today. If it isn't just another boring backtracking segment, I think we'll have a good time. Every time that there's been new developments in the plot or some new kind of gameplay element, the game's been fun as hell. So let's hope for that today, okay? All right. So 4 hours of Death Stranding today. Tonight, more Luigi's Mansion 3. Now, technically in Luigi's Mansion 3, okay, we've already beaten most of the floors. Last time that we played, I believe we beat floors, wasn't it 12 and 13, I believe? But as we were finishing up the 13th floor, the cat ghost showed up and stole our button. So we could not progress to the next floor because the cat stole the button, which means we have to go back and backtrack through this stage again to find and fight the cat boss over and over. This is what we had to do last time, and last time it not only did that on that floor, but then it went down like 2 floors. So more than likely, we're going to have like a half an hour of busy work tonight in Luigi's Mansion 3 trying to get the button to get to the next floor. I don't know if we're going to beat it. What I'm thinking is we'll get pretty far, but I doubt we're going to beat the game. Maybe one more session of Luigi's Mansion 3 to finish it off. So we'll see how far we get tonight. That's the late stream tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Okay? Then tomorrow, we swing back to the other new releases that I've been playing. And the first stream tomorrow will be Pokemon Sword. That's right, Pokemon gets an early stream tomorrow, 4 hours of progress. Quite frankly, we need it. If you guys were here Monday night for the Pokemon Sword stream, we didn't even get to the gym. We left the town. We went to Route 3, then we went to a cave, then we went to Route 4, and time was up. I was like, oh my god, like, even though, don't get me wrong, we had a bunch of fights, my Pokemon leveled up a lot, and we caught a bunch of new Pokemon. I was like, damn, I really don't feel like I made any progress story-wise, because we didn't. We were just doing the busy work between the towns. And it was like, I really want a longer stream of Pokemon so that it feels like we've advanced a little bit, right? So 4-hour stream of Pokemon Sword tomorrow, followed by a 2-hour stream of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order at night. We did make big progress in that game on Monday, completely doing Kashyyyk, and then backtracking to Zeppo and going to a brand new temple, which is what we're in right now, and we'll continue on with that temple and with the rest of the game tomorrow night. Then on Friday, we come back to Death Stranding, okay? So what we're going to do is kind of alternate between the games, and I actually put the schedule out on Monday night. I don't know if you guys checked it out on Twitter, but it's a good mix between all of the games. And once we wrap up Luigi's Mansion 3, then we can move on to, say, bringing back WWE 2K20 into the mix for maybe 1 or 2 late night streams, and that's almost done too. So, you know, good stuff. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited for all this stuff coming up, okay? It should be a good week of balance between all the new releases and advancement in all of them. So, I'll say this, as long as you guys have been enjoying the new releases, which it seems you have because the stream attendance has been up, the contributions have been great, positivity on the streams has been good, then I think you're really going to enjoy this coming week. Okay, if you're looking for new releases that I'm not playing yet, new playthroughs, that's not going to happen, all right? As I explained earlier this week, right now we just have too much going on in the realm of games I'm already playing, and the last thing I would want to do is start up another playthrough on top of all of this stuff, because we already got too many going on. You know what I mean? Like, it would not make any sense to start another game playthrough when I'm already playing 4+ games. So, for now, we're going to focus in on the stuff that I'm doing. Then we're going to bring back WWE, and we're going to finish that one up. Once all of that is done, okay, once all of that stuff is completed, then, on top of all that, then I would consider starting up Shenmue 3. That's the next game that I'm considering playing. I definitely want to play it after playing Shenmue 1 and 2. But at this point, it's kind of like, you know, I'm tied up with what I'm doing. And again, I don't want to start another new playthrough until we have opportunity that we know we're going to be able to play the game often. So, that's the deal. Okay, hold on a second here. I completely forgot to remove this freaking Outer Worlds artwork. Hold on a second. I gotta go to my PC. I want to get rid of it. Give me a second. Let me find this damn artwork. Oh, where the hell is it? There it is. Remove that. And hold on. There we go. I think that got it. I think. Keep my eye on it. You know, I've had so much awesome new fan art in the last couple of months, which is really awesome. So thanks to anyone who submitted any fan art. But it's hard to keep track now of what fan art is active for a playthrough I'm doing. And I still had the Outer Worlds on there, and I beat Outer Worlds last week. So got to try to, you know, keep it updated so that we don't have outdated fan art on the stream, right? Okay, so yes, I'm definitely interested in playing Shenmue 3. I want to play Shenmue 3, but not going to do it until we wrap up at least a couple of the playthroughs that I'm doing right now, okay? Just fair enough. I don't want to get too wrapped up in too many games at once and people get disappointed that I'm not playing them, okay? And keep in mind, as I said, there's so much other stuff going on in game releases right now. All the remasters that have come out recently that people want to see me play, Need for Speed Heat. I get the feeling that come Black Friday or even right after, these game prices are going to drop. And so I think the month of December is going to be great because we're going to see the return of the chill streams. We're going to balance that with all of those playthroughs I didn't get to this time of year. All right, it's going to be fun stuff to end the year. I got a really good feeling about December. Okay. All right. So before we move on, a few things to discuss. First of all, reminder that right now, the thread to nominate games for my upcoming holiday marathon, which will be the weekend before Christmas, is live right now on my forums, thekingofhate.com. Please head over there and nominate the games you want to see during the Christmas event. The more games you nominate, the better the event will be. All right, how do you do this? You can type !marathon into the stream chat. I just did it right now. That brings up the command where you can head over to the forums and nominate the games for the marathon, okay? That will be active until, say, around the first week of December. At that point, what I will do is I will take the nominations, the games that have been most frequently nominated, and I will turn it into a poll. Then people will begin voting on said poll for about 2 weeks or so until like the week before Christmas, which will then give me the opportunity to get said games for the event, okay? So there you go. So hopefully you guys will nominate. I wanted to make these events interactive and fun. The more games you nominate, the better. So please nominate. Okay, guys. Now, in addition to that, oh God, what was the other thing? There's some current events I want to talk about. But before I talk about the current events, there was one other thing I wanted to mention. Shit. I should have wrote this down. I knew I had a lot to talk about today coming back from break, but I should have written this down. I didn't, and that's my fault. And now I'm going to forget stuff. Ah, shit. Well, I guess if it's something important, I'll have to remember it later. Okay, so two news things I would like to talk about. The first is everyone's asking me about my opinions on these Game Award nominations. I don't care. I've told you guys for the past 5+ years, the Game Awards are not official. They are paid for by media companies and fanboys. That's not an exaggeration. The people who actually pay for the Game Awards and nominate the games and vote on the games, this is not something that's like viewer-based or anything like that. Okay? It's basically a ginormous paid advertisement event. It means absolutely nothing. It's not official in any capacity. So, did you hear that this game won Game of the Year? No, it didn't. No, the Game Awards, paid advertisement event may have named a game of the year. Doesn't mean that it's actually Game of the Year. It means nothing. It's complete fluff. But people, for some reason, get hyped, much like they think this is like the Oscars, right? No. And even then, the Oscars don't mean shit either, So I pay no attention to the Game Awards. I don't care about the Game Awards. I'm not going to watch the Game Awards. No one gives a shit, and no one should give a shit. If you do, you're buying the needless hype, and, that's why I don't pay attention to that crap. All right? So I don't care about the Game Awards. Asking me about it is a waste of everybody's time. All right? Now, the other news is Google Stadia. Oh, boy. What a surprise on this one. So, we heard for how long that Google is working on a live streaming gaming service where you don't need to own a console at all. All you need to do is to have a Google Stadia streaming service. It's going to live stream these games over the internet without any hardware at all. You can play it on your phone, you can play it on your PC, you can play it on whatever you want, and you don't need to own a console. No more expensive hardware needed to play the best AAA games out there. I said from the get-go, the moment this was announced, I said this is not going to work. If we all lived in Japan, it would probably work, because in Japan the internet is state-funded, meaning the government owns the internet. And therefore the government has mandates on the speed requirements and the quality of the internet in the country. So if you live in Japan in any of the major, regions, your internet is absolutely outstanding. I actually talked about this many years ago when people were saying, Phil, I don't understand. Why is it that games like Street Fighter 4 play so badly online? And I said, well, the truth of the matter is because the games were designed to be played in Japan, not in America. In Japan, the internet's outstanding, and people have actually said that playing fighting games online in Japan, it's the same as sitting next to a person on an arcade cabinet. There's no lag at all because their internet is so outstanding. But in the United States, we don't have consistent internet. What we have is a bunch of companies competing to provide internet service to you. You've got your Cablevision, you've got your Comcast, you've got your Time Warner, and what was the other one? There's like 4 major ones, and then there's all the minor, like all the cell phone companies that also provide internet service. Okay? So, in America, we don't have consistent internet. Everyone could have a different connection. If you haven't noticed, anytime I play a game online, the entire situation's hit or miss. Sometimes I play online and there's no lag at all. Sometimes I play online and there's moderate lag. Sometimes I play online and there's monstrous lag. And that's all because our internet is flaky as shit. It's the direct reason why. We don't have, a consistent, dedicated internet service. So because of that, you're always going to have issues with latency. Basically, think of it this way. Just think of it this way. You have a water pipe, okay? And that water pipe is all one kind of pipe. It's streamlined, it's smooth, it's solid, and so your water flow is very, very strong. That's Japan's internet. In America, what we have is a bunch of companies all telling you that their pipe is the best. So one's a copper pipe, one's a PVC pipe, one is aluminum pipe, 10, 20 different kinds of pipes, and they're all held together by fucking tape and adhesive and stick in fucking Band-Aids and shit. Someone has to put a rope on it, and they're all barely holding together. They do hold together, so the water does get from point A to point B, but by the time it gets out to the under end, it's very inconsistent. It's trickling out the end, it then all of a sudden explodes, super strong flow. It's basically what it is. That's the internet in America. It's a bunch of people competing with different kinds of product, and yeah, it all connects, but it's not consistent and it's not smooth, right? So, now, with this being the case, and us knowing this, right, from experience, 11 years I've been playing games on the internet, and I've seen this firsthand. How in the holy hell did Google think they were going to make a live streaming service where they were going to stream the game over the internet without you needing any hardware whatsoever, and that this was going to be a viable service? I mean, the moment they announced this, I said, this is insanely stupid. These guys just don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's obvious, again, this is what Google does. They get these crazy sky-high ideas with no real-world implementation. Remember Google Glass? Oh, yeah, that's what everyone wants to do. We want to have a giant set of glasses over our face with a heads-up display. Like, we don't have enough shit distracting us in real life. Now we need things popping up in front of our fucking eyes as we walk around. This is what they do. They these crazy, unfinished, weirdo ideas. And then they try to implement them and sell them before they're even ready. And that's what Google Stadia is. If we had great internet, it probably would be amazing. But guess what? It's not. We don't have that. And so, how did you think this would work? So it's hilarious because all the early reviews came out for Google Stadia. And the reviews are like a fucking laugh riot. You watch some guys trying to play the game in his office, and he presses space bar on his computer, and nothing happens. Then all of a sudden the guy jumps late. And then as he continuously presses spacebar, the jumps become more and more staggered to the point where the game's completely uncontrollable and unplayable. And people reported it's not only just on PC, but on their phones as well. Like, you try to play these games on anything, they're all monstrously delayed. And I guess, basically what the report is this is a great idea. The graphics, by the way, apparently looked pretty good. Very few people complained about the graphical fidelity of the games. What they did complain about was the delay in controls, the latency. So, this sounds like a great idea for 10 years down the line, when our internet technology may improve and ends up being much better. But for something today, it's not needed, nor does anyone ask for it. The other thing is, this was a good point that I hadn't even thought of. So some people were like, the real reason this will fail is because even if it worked, who wants it? Because now you get no console exclusives, right? Google Stadia isn't going to get God of War right at launch. It's not going to get Death Stranding right at launch, you see? Instead, the console exclusives are going to get stuck to the consoles, and Google Stadia will be like the ultimate third-party game venue, but you'll never get, you know, good exclusive games on the Stadia. And that's what they're saying is, if you're really going to go with Stadia, you need a reason to. If they had an amazing exclusive game just available on Google Stadia, gamers would probably go in droves to try to play it. But what is their incentive, right? Right now, there's zero incentive. You know, already we're hearing, okay, launch title for the next Xbox is going to be Halo Infinite. And of course, everyone is leaning towards this, you know, the new PlayStation. Like, what will be the exclusive game? Now, we already heard that The Last of Us is coming out, you know, at some point. We don't know exactly when. You know, everyone's excited for Sony exclusives all the time, right? But what do you need the Stadia for? To play games you can already have, you know? So that's the thing. Like, that's what they were. The way that they were touting it was the only person who would want a Google Stadia is, number one, a person who doesn't own a console. Number two, a person who can't afford a console. Number three, a person who doesn't, a person who's the only gamer in the house, doesn't need to share that service. Because keep in mind, this is all over the internet. So if you have more than one gamer in the house who wants to play games at once, impossible. The internet, you know, the internet already is laggy enough. Now imagine two people trying to do this at once. It's impossible. Basically, like, the clientele for this service is so narrow where it would be viable that it doesn't even make sense that it exists. Like it's not worth a price tag at all. You know, even being free, it's a hard sell. So, hilarious, because it's exactly what I fucking said. The moment this was announced, I said this will never fucking work. Remember, this was attempted many years ago. It was called the Ouya. Anyone remember the Ouya that I had, that I messed around with? Anyone remember? Yeah. Remember how bad that was? How games were unplayable? No, excuse me, not the Ouya. The OnLive. I'm sorry, I completely screwed up. Not the Ouya, the OnLive. Where OnLive was a console that wasn't a console. It was just a small little streaming device that you would hook up to your TV and they would try to stream games. And it never worked. You remember that, right? It never worked at all. It just lagged constantly. I couldn't even play a single game on it. Every game I attempted to play on the OnLive lagged up and I never finished a game because the service was shit. And here we are years later, and it's the same thing. It's like Google didn't know that OnLive existed. Like, Google did no research at all to figure out that someone had already attempted to do what they were doing and didn't know that it doesn't work. Like, it's at least with OnLive. At least with OnLive, you could say at least it was a good idea, and it just didn't work out. Google had a case of people doing this already and it not working, and they ignored it and thought that they could still make it work because they're stupid. Like, I don't know what else to say. But anyway, I'm going on at length about this, which I shouldn't be. Yeah, essentially, the Google Stadia is a huge failure. Almost every single reviewer said it didn't work. There were very few, probably out of all the people who got the advanced units, I think like 5 people said it actually worked for them, and everyone else was like, yeah, just lagged to shit and we couldn't play it. So, you know, not surprising. I wasn't getting it. Certainly I wasn't getting it anyway. So, you know, thank God we didn't waste our time on that. And, oh well, back to the drawing board for Google, I guess. Just another failed experiment. Just the same bin where everyone threw their Google Glass. I guess that's where you throw your fucking, your Google Stadia controller. Because that's all it is, a controller. They sell you the controller or whatever. Toss that right in the trash. Okay, then. By the way, I'm not saying that eventually this wouldn't work, but like I said, it's far too early. It's far too early, and it would take too much time to have the internet upgraded to the point where this would be supported, that this would be a viable product. You're talking another decade at least. So, once again, Google biting off more than they can chew and trying to do something that they're just not equipped to handle. Sorry. It's just the truth. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's now move on to the second segment of my pre-stream, which, of course, is your favorite part ever. It's the part that everyone waits for all week long. It's time for the gratuitous plugs. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for 11 awesome years where I have been allowed to share my daily gameplay experiences with all of you on the internet as a content creator. There certainly have been ups and downs and changes to the way that I provide my content to you, but I absolutely love what I do for a living, and I wouldn't give it up for the world. Even if I couldn't make $1 doing this, I would still find a capacity that I could do it, because I absolutely love doing it, man. All right? That being said, things are certainly not like they used to be. When I used to be a full-time YouTuber, and I used to just put out a ridiculous amount of YouTube videos every day, things have definitely changed over the years. Some for the better and some for the worse. But in the modern era here, I am a live streamer. I stream 6 days a week full-time. A lot of hours of gameplay every single week. I also continuously upload all my archived streams to DSPGaming on YouTube, so that for those of you who cannot be here live for the streams, you can get caught up at your own pace. All right? So all that being said, I love doing it. However, I do rely on crowdfunding during the live streams in order to make ends meet. Without crowdfunding, I would not be able to continue to do this. So I just want to say, thank you to those who have been very generous, and thank you to those who have contributed and allowed me to do what I love. And what I'm about to do is outline some ways that you can contribute during the streams. But before I do that, I will say this up front. Please understand that even though crowdfunding keeps the bills paid, keeps everything going around here, all right, it is not mandatory that you contribute during any stream. Okay, it's not. I am happy enough to just be able to hang out with you guys on stream every day, share my gameplay experiences, and have a good time, have some interaction and fun with those of you that I get a chance to talk to. Keep in mind, I did this for 2.5 years on YouTube before I ever made a dime doing it. Just how much I love gaming as a hobby, and that's why I told you, if I couldn't make money doing this anymore, I would still do it in some capacity, all right? So that being said, please don't feel pressured that you must contribute. However, that being said, I do rely on the crowdfunding to keep stuff going. So for those who do contribute, thank you very much. And now let's talk a little bit about the ways that you can contribute. First of all, you can pull out a loud-ass lawn mowing device, go outside my house, and distract everyone on the stream by doing it as loudly as possible when I'm doing my pre-stream. Make no bones about it, it doesn't matter what time I stream, these guys are out there every single week whenever I'm talking. Because I tested it, there's been a couple Wednesdays where I didn't do the pre-stream at the same time, and these guys were still starting up whenever I started talking. It never fails. It never fails. Alright, but anyway, that's what that is, guys. There's landscapers outside doing some yard work, FYI. We'll just have to put up with it for a little bit, okay? Alright, so first of all, guys, I have a Patreon over at patreon.com/DarksidePhil. Any contributions that you pledge to my Patreon to the monthly campaign earn you personal perks, depending on how much you've pledged. So please consider pledging to my Patreon and give it a look. All the explanation of the perks is right there on the site, so I won't go into detail, but thanks to anyone who's currently a patron, it is much appreciated. I also have a Teespring store where I sell all kinds of merchandise, primarily t-shirts, but there's other things there that are more fall or winter related. For example, sweatshirts and hoodies. There's also some mugs. Maybe you want to have yourself a nice cup of joe or a cup of warm hot chocolate to keep you warm here during the colder months. All right, so give it a look. Anything you buy there helps me out. You get a cool collectible. That is at teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. But in particular, if you were here on the live stream, chances are you're probably going to want to contribute in a way that's going to give you a live shout out during the stream so you can get some recognition, right? So, if you either cheer with bits or you subscribe to the channel or you tip me during today's live stream, I will give you a live shout out. It's a way for me to say thank you. In addition to that, at the top of the screen, we've got the Stream Stats leaderboard. All right, this is a leaderboard that tracks things such as top tipper and top cheerer of the day, and another extra way for you to get recognition, right? There's also a leaderboard that is integrated into Twitch, and with that leaderboard tracks things such as the top cheerers of the week, as well as the top sub gifters of the week. So I will actually read out those leaderboards before we start with gameplay today to give those people extra recognition as well. So obviously there's many ways for you to get recognized here on the stream for your contributions. I'm greatly appreciative of anything that you guys decide to support with. That being said, the best way you can support me is by tipping me. Tipping is funds that I can get right away, funds that I can use to pay bills, to buy games, especially come end of the year now. And I'm sure everyone was expecting this end of the year push for taxes. This happens every year where I need to raise money for taxes near the end of the year. This is no exception. That'll be coming up. So any funds right now that you lend, not only are paying the bills, but also are going to allow me to afford my taxes at year end. So please consider tipping if at all you can today. That would help me out more than anything. There's 2 ways you can tip me. Below the stream, there's a tip jar button you can click on, or you can type !tip into the stream chat. Either way is great because it brings up the link to the PayPal tips page. A few things about tipping me. The first thing is, FYI, you don't need a PayPal account to do it. You don't need to go through the lengthy process of registering and linking a bank account to tip me. Instead, you could just use a debit or credit card, much like anything else you would pay for over the internet. However, that option doesn't always show up. I've actually figured out that if you're on a mobile device, a lot of the times that option doesn't appear. You need to really go on a desktop computer if you want to have that option. So FYI, if you're looking to tip, but you don't want to have a registered PayPal account, jump on your PC, and that should allow you to do so, okay? Now, in addition, I will strongly recommend, if you're considering tipping me today, please protect your identity if you can. What I mean by that is you might want to tip as an anonymous person, or you might want to make up a name that has nothing to do with your identity in real life. The reason being, sadly, there are people out there who are just sick in the head. They get their jollies off of messing with people. And so if they can find someone who's been a big contributor to a streamer and dox their information on the internet, they'll do so just because they're assholes. All right? There's no benefit to them, and it certainly doesn't hurt me. They're just assholes. They just think that it's funny to do it. So you're going to want to hide your information if at all you can. Okay? Just throwing that out there. I care about my viewers. I want you guys to be protected. So please consider tipping me, and thank you to anyone who contributes in any way. I'm certainly not looking a gift horse in the mouth if you cheer or you sub or you contribute in another way. Those all help, but tipping me is the best way to contribute and does help the most right now. All right? Now, what I'd like to do is outline the rules of the stream, and we have 2 sets of major rules. The first is the one that is created by Twitch.tv that I must abide by. So please consider that I cannot just say and do anything that I want on my live streams. I have to abide by Twitch's terms of service, and I do. Therefore, understand that's why, we have certain things in effect here. Now, in addition to that, I have my own rule in regards to my own personal code of conduct and stuff that I like to have as a vibe here on my streams. So allow me to explain my philosophy, okay? As a live streamer, I like to provide a place where you guys can escape the drama and the toxicity and the stress of your real lives. I want you to be able to jump on my streams and just have some fun. Have a good time. Interact with people on the stream. Chat it up. Have some interactions with me as well. And just relax. That's the point. So, I don't want the stream to be inundated with drama and arguments and attacks and toxicity and nonsense. There's a lot of other streamers who think that stuff is beneficial to their streams. I'm of the complete opposite mindset. I want to keep that crap out of here and just let you guys have a good time with me. Alright? So that being said, there are a few rules that I put into place in regards to my streams. The first is that we do not allow discussion of controversial topics that typically people get into arguments about. That would be politics and religion in particular, okay? What I've learned over the years is that politics and religion are 2 hot topics that, sadly, people just cannot seem to get along with people who don't agree with their own personal mindsets. That's sad, in my opinion, that people can't see from another person's perspective or walk in the shoes of another person. The bottom line is this is a gameplay stream. Those topics really don't need to be pertinent and or exist on the stream at all, okay? So that being said, please do not address those topics. The only exception would be if we're in a game where those topics are pertinent. There have been some games recently that we've played that have had political or religious overtones. And if that's the case, yes, then we can talk about that and we can discuss those topics in regards to the game or whatever. But no, please, don't bring up Brexit. Don't bring up Trump. Don't bring up these things that are going to piss people off in my stream. There's absolutely no point about it, okay? Now, in addition to all of that, folks, the other thing is that I am well aware that there are many people out there on the internet who, I would say it's hilarious because people say, oh, they don't like you. Actually, I don't even think that's the case. For the amount that a lot of these people watch my content, I think they do like me, but I think what they've realized is that by illegally stealing my content, by illegally restreaming and broadcasting my content, by slandering me and insulting me constantly, by spitting things on streams that never happened the way that these people claim that they did into dramatic and bullshit situations, it gives them their own personal benefit. Whether it's, oh, I can make a drama video on YouTube about Phil and make tons of views and money today, or whatever it may be. I'm well aware that these people exist and that YouTube, that's right, YouTube is the safe haven for these fucked up, immoral, and just messed up people. Twitch doesn't allow this kind of crap. Twitch lays down the law and bans these people because they realize that these are toxic people who are out to hurt people and break the law and basically make, you know, a living on their behalf. But YouTube likes it. YouTube says, oh, we're going to, you know, we like this kind of content. It brings in drama views and allows people to make ad revenue. So we like this. We're going to continue to allow it. It's fucked up. And sadly, I have no recourse against it, no defense against it, okay? So, I'm well aware it exists. However, it is a strict rule on the stream that we don't bring that crap up, okay? I talk about it here on the pre-stream very briefly so you guys know the rules, and after that, that's that. The thing is, these people want attention. So the moment that we bring them up and give any kind of direct attention to them, that's exactly what they want. Exactly what they want, okay? And in their mind, this, you know, oh my god, any attention's good attention. If he mentions me, it brings people to my channel, I make more money, right? So, surely it's not allowed. Don't say, oh, someone's illegally restreaming you. Don't say, oh, someone's insulting a viewer of yours who contributed or trying to dox them. Don't say, oh, someone's made a big defamatory video about you. I don't care. And the truth of the matter is, it has absolutely nothing to do with my live stream or content. It's considered derailing, and it's going to be moderated appropriately if you do that, okay? So please, none of that crap. Fair enough? Alright. Alright, guys, so that is the rules. I hope that you listened and you understand them. Thank you for abiding by them. We now move on to the third and final segment of the pre-stream, where I go outside and I have a vicious kung fu fight against the landscapers to stop them from making so much noise. No, of course not. Instead, it's going to be the shout-out segment. This is the segment where I give credit to those who've contributed, and I answer your questions, and we go from there. Alright? So let me go ahead and get everything over here. Get it going. Oh, not working. Hold on. Okay, so first of all, I want to say thank you to those who contributed when I was not streaming, which includes an anonymous cheerer who did a large series of cheers during the time away. So thank you very much to the anonymous cheerer. I appreciate that. Frosty the Snail Man resubscribed for 2 months yesterday. Thank you very much, Frosty the Snail Man. One person tipped asking about the Google Stadia. I already talked about that, so I don't even need to talk about that. And then there were 2 bait tips trying to get me to talk about fucked up controversial topics that either are no one's business or that are just going to start drama. So I'm not going to address those whatsoever. And instead we're going to move on to this morning when Jack Spartacus resubscribed for 32 months in a row. Thank you very much, Jack, for such long and ongoing support. It is much appreciated. Thank you, Jack. Good to see you. An anonymous cheerer did a 55-bit cheer, but that was before the stream. No, actually, I take that back. That was actually when the stream was running. So that means this anonymous cheerer is the current top cheerer of the day, and let's get them up on the leaderboard here. Shit, I clicked the wrong thing. There we go. Okay. Cash Tar has subscribed for 7 months and says, keep up the great work, bro. Thank you very much, Cash Tar, for the ongoing sub and support. Appreciate that. Mr. Papavera did a 50-bit cheer, and he says, Death Stranding 2 sounds more like foreshadowing to me. Yeah, I mean, undoubtedly, if Death Stranding ends up being a huge sales hit, you know they're making a sequel. And for them to understand, in certain territories, the game sold very, very well. I don't necessarily know if it sold that well in America, but I do know it sold really well in Japan. So, I guess we'll see. But that was just a slip of the tongue. I did not mean to say Death Stranding 2. Alright, so our first tip of the day came in from Rob. Rob tipped me $5. He said, hey, dude, what's going on, Rob? Good to see you. Thanks for coming by the stream. I don't know if you'll be hanging out for the whole Death Stranding stream here today, but it's always good to see you, and thank you very much for the support. Let's get Rob up on the leaderboard here. Alrighty. Okay, Honest Fan did a 55-bit cheer and says, when can we get DSP Plus? A premium streaming service where we get all your content and behind-the-scenes footage. Subscription service, DSP 2020. Never. I would never want to do a paid-for subscription service. Never. Like I said, my success has always been either advertisement revenue or crowdfunding, which essentially is time or your active contribution choice, not a mandatory decision that you must pay for subscription-based content. I actually remember when YouTube instituted the private channel subscriptions, where you had to pay to access a channel, and there was like 3 channels that actually attempted to do this as like a business, and they all failed miserably. And you know, YouTube actually announced, well, this thing was a failed thing, so we're not going to do it anymore. Then later on, they brought it back in the form of private shows, like, oh, the premiere of this video is only for people who have paid a certain amount of money to your channel, and then you can show this video to them, and then it'll go live for everyone else later and stuff like that. But essentially, at every turn where people have attempted to do something that's like pure subscription-based, it's pretty much failed. People on the internet are not willing to actively pay for content from a common person like me. Maybe if it was super high production value, television quality stuff, then you would pay for a subscription service. I mean, take a look at HBO Max and shit like that. Obviously, people are doing it already. But no one's willing to toss a weekly subscription service to someone like me to just access, you know, the freaking videos. That's ridiculous. You know, I'm a live streamer. My content is meant to be free on the internet always. That's how I always wanted to keep it, and I'm happy that over the years, despite the fact I've had to change my method of distribution from on-demand on YouTube to live streaming on Twitch, I'm happy that I've still been able to keep that model of everything is free at all times, okay? So, no, there will not be a DSP Plus streaming service. Alright, Mr. Papavera cheered, 50 bits. He says, mentioning a lot of new releases. When there is a game that comes out I'm excited for, I'll watch even if it takes a while to get to, especially if it's someone I enjoy watching. There were titles where I've been watched Let's Plays from several people. In some cases, getting a new blind Let's Play after the hype died down can be refreshing. I agree. That's why I love the fact that not only is it live streaming with me, but I have all my stuff available on demand afterward. You know, you can watch at your own pace. Maybe some people right now are playing the new releases, right? They don't want to watch me play them now because they don't want to spoil for themselves. But once they finish the games, then they'll go back and they'll watch my playthrough on YouTube on demand afterward, okay? I will say this, all right? Thank you to those who do that. I appreciate that. But I should emphasize that ad revenue on YouTube is abysmally low. It's funny because, like, I barely even see ads on YouTube anymore. It's rare when an ad even plays for someone like me because I'm not a big dog who gets all the advertisement space. So, FYI, ad revenue is almost non-existent. If you are someone who exclusively watches my stuff on YouTube, please consider contributing via another method, whether it be pledging to my Patreon or sending a tip during a live stream, whatever it may be, only because, like I said, it's not like it used to be where I used to be able to make significant any income really on ad revenue. It's changed completely on YouTube because the whole business fell apart, and it's not like it used to be, oh, well, Phil's just making out on my view because of the ads. No, I'm not. I do need support in other methods, so please consider it. If that's the deal and you are someone who just watches exclusively on YouTube, please consider contributing via another method, okay? Alright. Prank Black has resubbed for 12 months. Thank you very much, Prank Black, for a 12-month resubscription. I appreciate that very much. Philip Smelly Chair cheered twice. And said, the first cheer, he says, good morning, Philip. Hope you have a day full of joy and wonderment. Thank you very much, Philip Smelly Chair. I appreciate that. Then he does a cheer that's about taxes, which I'm not going to fucking talk about. I'm not going to make my stream about taxes. So even though I appreciate the cheer, no, we're not doing that. I also received 2 trollish fucking tips that I'm completely ignoring because it's a dickhead who's basically trying to be an asshole. And again, derail the stream and get me angry about stuff, which I'm not going to bother with. So, there you go. Okay. Now, let's get to shout-outs for those who've cheered and gifted subs this week via the leaderboard that is integrated into my Twitch chat, shall we? So we start off with the top 10 cheerers of the week. With a tie for 9th place, we've got a tie between Bentatorship and Fly Eagles Fly 01. In 8th place, we've got PW Dubs. 7th place is I Am Sofa King Hot. 6th place, Star Wars Fan 002. 5th place, Akio Artorius. 4th place, Nahualito. 3rd place this week is Snick Skitterbjorn. Second place, Big D's. And in first place so far for this week, N5 NSX. Keep in mind, the week is young. It's only Wednesday. This is technically only my second day streaming this week where these cheers go into effect. So with 6, or actually I think it's 5 more days in the week, you know, it's very easy if you want to try to be one of the top 10 cheers of the week to get up on that leaderboard. Just consider cheering with bits today, and it won't take much to get you up there, okay? Now, as for those who have gifted subscriptions this week, we only have 2 people so far. We had Philip Smelly Chair, who gifted 2 subscriptions on Monday. And then we had Authentic Italian Dolphin, who also gifted a couple, actually it was 5 subscriptions on Monday. So thank you to both of you guys for gifting subs this week. That is much appreciated. Okay. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, the contributions have, been covered. We gave shout-outs, so I guess what we're going to do, let's take a very brief break for me to use the restroom and hopefully for these landscapers to walk away from my goddamn house. Because if I'm going to start doing gameplay, you probably want to be able to hear the game. And right now, that's not very possible, is it? So let's take just a couple minutes break for me to use the restroom. Then I'll be back, and it'll be Death Stranding. 4 hours of Death Stranding progress here today on the stream. I am looking forward to the fun. Hope you guys are looking forward as well. And we'll go from there. Fair enough? All right, guys, thank you very much, and I will see you in a few minutes. All right.